Hello and good morning, everybody. I hope everyone's having a fantastic morning so far. Today, what we're going to be talking about is body proportions on people. And I'm just going to go over a general review on proportions, and then also go over the human proportion worksheet with you guys, and kind of draw it out so you guys can see it, what I'm looking for with this worksheet. So the first thing I just wanted to go over with you guys is, with this worksheet is also included like a general average proportions with it. I included 2 of them. I really like this one a lot because it kind of shows you the balance between age and gender. So the average adult is about 7.5 heads. Now you're probably thinking, what do you mean by why are we averaging these out in heads? Well, it's just a really good rule of thumb when you're drawing the figure to kind of have something to reference to, so you can get better proportions. So we have your head here in general that we're going to be following. So if you look, let's look at the guy. So he's got his head right here, and then you kind of average out his whole body proportions via his head. So he would be 7.5 of his heads tall. So you'd have the head, and then we like to portion it out in lines. So if you look how I did on the worksheet, I have the different lines here. That's going to help you when you're doing your proportions, when you're drawing it out. So generally you have the top of the head is the very top, and then the bottom is the chin here. And in a later video we're going to actually talk about the proportions of the face. For this worksheet I'm not looking for details, I'm just kind of looking for basic proportions. So yeah. So then about halfway through, you've got the shoulders on this, about half a head here, you've got the shoulders, and don't forget to put the neck on top of that. And then that second head length is the chest. The third head length is the waist area, so it's that kind of that smaller part of your waist there. And then the next one, the hips, the fifth one, is the hips. So it's kind of the hips are generally the lightest part down there. And then 5.5, these heads right here are your thighs there. And then you'll have the kneecaps right here at about at the 5.5 head mark. And then you'll have the calves here. They kind of start forming after the knee. And then you've got the ankles here started at the 7 head mark, and then the 7.5 kind of head there is the feet. And then here at the very bottom should be the bottom or the soles of your feet there. So this is just a good way to kind of visually see how to proportion out a person. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw the basic shapes to it. And this is a good, printing this out, just kind of using this as a reference. If you want to, you can use the girl or the guy. I just wanted to include the children sizes too, because they totally vary. Little human beings are really weird. Like a baby is about 3 to 4 heads tall for a baby. It's generally because the head on infants is way bigger than it is proportionate. So that's why it's kind of off, and the scale here, like on an adult, doesn't work the same way as it would an infant. So that's definitely something to consider if you were drawing a child. Same with the, you're growing. And then this is just kind of a general guide, just to kind of show you the general proportions. I understand everybody's unique, everybody's beautiful or handsome, but this is just kind of a general thing. And this is just to kind of help you learn those basic proportions. Okay, so we're going to start here with the head. And the head is just kind of an oval. I have this middle line that's kind of like the base to it, to your person. So I'm just kind of doing basic shapes. Do not worry about details. I'm not looking for facial expressions. I'm not looking for the hair on the head. I'm just kind of looking for basic proportions to it. And when I'm just going to kind of map it out real quick. So I've got the shoulders, the chest. So I'm just going to kind of map this out real quick. I'm doing this real simple like here. Just basic proportions there. And you got the thighs. And you got the knees here, and I'm going to make little circles for the knees so you kind of know. So you kind of see I'm just doing basic shapes on there. You've got the calves that go down to the ankles. And then you got the feet. So I kind of got the basic human form going on there. That's when you can kind of start adding in the desired features here. I'm going to put the circles here for the arm sockets. And generally with the arms, when you draw the arms, as you can see, it's kind of about 4.5 heads. Yeah, 4.5 heads down, roughly. Should be about mid-thigh here that your fingertips touch. So I'm just going to kind of do some basic arms here. The bend of the arm kind of is around your waist area. So I'll kind of put a little circle there for that. Just basic proportions. And I'm kind of doing mine a little quick, but I'm not looking for. So I got that. So I kind of just got the basics going on here for my person. Nothing crazy going on. If you want to, you can go in more detail into it. I'm not requiring that. But I just wanted to kind of get a basic proportion so you guys can start practicing those proportions with the body as well. So that's kind of all I'm looking for. You can even do more shapes with it if you want, like kind of block off the chest a little bit. You got the hip area. You can kind of just look at it in different shapes, if that helps you out. I like to do it in shapes. Kind of helps you to see where it's all at. But as long as you kind of get the basic proportions, that's what I'm looking for with this. And then we'll kind of work on getting more of the details at a later class. But that's kind of what I'm looking for. So I hope you enjoyed.